You're gonna tell me? You're gonna tell me how to do the list?
Eat a burger.
Eat a
and
burger.
Put
You
it to rest.
Do it.
Now we know. Daddy's at the law firm until 8 hours, and Davey's watching XXX down in the fucking basement.
Get that out of my face.
But you punch the burger?
I'm gonna throw it.
Did you go to therapy?
Yes.
Yeah, we changed it. We're back up.
Come on. You got a lot of Bobby Knight in you. You got a lot of Bobby Knight in you. We've seen him in 2 places.
All right, Pete, Bobby Knight. Welcome into Healthy Debate, Monday, June 3rd. Happy New Year to everybody out there as well. Not necessarily the most busiest weekend in terms of sports. I think we're getting into that kind of spot now where you got a little bit of a downtime here before the finals kick off this week, especially. It's like, let's just get the games going. Stanley Cup, when does the Stanley Cup start? Saturday?
Wednesday.
Stanley Cup starts Wednesday?
Correct.
All right, that's good. I was under the impression it was Saturday. That would be a nightmare if both had to wait. So that's good. Get that going. The biggest story, though, and we'll take the call, Sean behind the glass, Phil behind the glass. We can call in, load them up. I thought the biggest story, we touched on this on Pick Central a little bit, Caitlin Clark is, at this point, I think the WNBA has to step in. They did it. I'm not comparing her to Jordan, but young stars get protected. It's a commodity. It's an asset. It's what's going to elevate the league. More eyeballs are on the league. I don't know, other than jealousy, why there's such fouls like this, but I think the WNBA has to step in and protect an asset like that. Am I crazy to think that?
No, not at all.
It's getting out of hand now at this point. It's just straight up cheap shots, head shots. They're gunning for her on screens. This is the reason that the league is getting to where it's at, well, the stuff you were complaining about, she helped do that. I'm not saying single-handedly. The league has been around for 25 years, so it has been able to build and build, but there hasn't been a superstar with this kind of, oompsma or potential behind her in a long time. Like, let's get behind it. I wonder what they can do, because do you go to the veterans? Do you go to the captains? Do you be like, listen, this is the future. Why are we headhunting? Why are we doing that? But I don't think the veterans are part of the problem, because they came into the league and they were saying she's in for a rude awakening. Like, so the whole thing goes back to the beginning, where it just seems like they didn't want her. If I was Caitlin Clark, I'd be looking at other options. I mean, Dave said he paid her what, $5 million to play intramurals? The 3-on-3 played her $10 million. I would be like, you know what? You guys don't want to protect me. See how it is without me. You know what I mean? Now go back to commercial flights, do whatever. Not saying you're part of the league, but take the money. For 1 year, take the money and then maybe come back. Now you got to renegotiate coming back.
Well, Bosco, the other teams are going to play a defense they want to play on her because they want to win games. I think that's fair to say. They want to treat her like Isaiah Thomas. How the Pistons tweeted
to
like
Jordan. Yep.
Treated like bad boy Pistons.
But then that didn't last that long. They realized Jordan was bigger than what they were doing. They started protecting Jordan.
But also Jordan just, turned it up a notch.
Agreed. That's agreed too.
So the other teams are going to do what they want to do. I care more about her teammates just letting this all happen. Like, someone has to stick up for her on her own damn team.
Yeah, there should be a little bit of a fist fight, right? I kind of don't hate that.
Where's the coach in all this? Like,
where were the players, though? Like, the players, no one was anywhere to be found.
Helping her up and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's – maybe they're in on it too, which would be a real shame because that's your teammate. The whole thing is bizarre, but I think the WNBA at this point should step in.
It was like the longest yard clip where he's like they were sending a message to Paul Crew, like it's like his own offensive line. It's like no one was there.
No, it's a bizarre type of situation. So
I mean, in Barstool basketball, if jet ski got knocked down on the ground, are you gonna fuck someone up or are you just gonna let it happen?
Yeah, exactly. It's a good point. Depends. I mean, the Russian mob guys. I don't know. I was kind of just like let's be friends here. I think we were in over our heads with those guys. But, yeah, it's an interesting setup for her. I had this take, healthy debate, the two things that have been going on, the pranks that we do with our bodies. Is mooning out, but flashing is in, Phil? Are we pro-flashing in this country? Yes. Maybe in two countries with our northern border. Is mooning, we said, who moons anybody anymore, right? That's out. But it's flashing. It's been a while now. The World Series, this is flashing in.
I mean, it was never out.
It was never out, but is it more? Is it the most prevalent it's ever been? It's the most mainstream it's ever been.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say most mainstream it's ever been. I mean, what happened to the World Series? I think the World Series is bigger than Stanley Cup.
Is Edmonton America's team now?
Yeah, I think there's 2 reasons why, for sure.
We're connecting borders over here.
Exactly. Yeah. What do we think that girl does for a living?
No one's found her
Because
yet.
it's
which
really
that's
internet's slacking in Canada.
I don't think she wants to be found. You would think someone like that did that would want
to be found, and the internet is undefeated in terms of finding. But like the one girl next to her seems like her friend with that phone, like a different alternate look. How have we not seen that yet?
Has the NHL said anything?
What are they gonna say?
Well, no, I was saying because I think Julia Rose, didn't she get banned from MLB?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good point.
She got
Yeah, but I feel like hockey, man.
I think part of that was because it was right behind home plate, like on the broadcast.
So technically, they got fined for it and stuff like that. This is a fan thing. And if you were doing at that point, then what are they gonna ban everybody who does like a FU chant in the stands? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's I think we don't really try to give this guy a lot of credit, but oh God, now I'm blanking. Antonio Brown said a hell of a front porch. I think was the
he said front door.
Front door?
Yes.
I thought he said front porch.
He said door.
I kind of like
front. The term is
front
porch.
What?
The term is porch.
And he said front door?
Yes.
So you're supposed to say porch.
Yes.
Yeah, front porch is way better. Front porch is bigger and wider. So I got that. I got that as a big one. We'll get to the rest. Philly, you got him loaded up? Sean?
Yeah.
Yep. Sean, first caller.
First caller is Jack from Wisconsin. Jack, you're on.
Actually, you know what? Before we get to the calls, let me tell you about our friends at DraftKings. Sound the trumpets, it's horse racing time. So saddle up for the action with DK Horse, an official DraftKings affiliate. Right now, new customers who download the DK app can get a 100% deposit bonus up to $250. Just deposit $25 or more and complete the playthrough requirement, wager on your favorite horse, and then watch races live right in the app. Download the DK Horse app now. New customers get a 100% deposit bonus up to $250 when they opt in with code RICO. Only on the DraftKings Sports, the DK Horse app. You got the Belmont coming up this week. It's a great time to get involved. DK Horse. Shout out DK Horse. All right, let's go callers.
Rico.
What's up?
Hey, looking forward to the holidays. I got 2 for you. First being Caitlin Clark. Think Big Cat had the right take. Blowing it up a bit too big. Obviously, people shouldn't be taking cheap shots, but we can't be making it the first talking point of Pick Central. WNBA is fine, but Caitlin Clark.
Well, you tell. I mean, what else? What else was a bigger story coming off of this weekend other than? I mean, we're not hockey. Like, yeah, team clinched to the hockey. The NBA has been done for a while. We're not necessarily the biggest hockey guys. What leads in terms of
the WNBA is fine, Rico, but not Caitlin Clark. It can be the Chicago Sky, whatever team's blowing up, but Caitlin Clark sucks this year.
I wouldn't say that. She's the fastest. Give me the stat, Sean. Fastest to 150 points. Fastest to 150 assists and 50 rebounds.
Her team sucks. Her team sucks this year.
Okay, let me ask you a question. In the history of the NBA, doesn't the worst team usually get the best player? For the last, 35 years?
Yes,
Wembanyama's team
but
sucked. It doesn't mean he's not worth talking about.
We hardly talked about him the whole year because his team sucked.
All right, so we can only talk about the
a
good
little
teams.
bit
What
around
else?
awards. All right, whatever. You're right. Second one, the dog. Now, the dog doesn't go away. I know the dog doesn't go away. There's hippo, whatever. But you got to embrace the dog. Dave wants the dog. Give him the dog. Use it on the right people. Just hone in the dog.
Train the dog, you're saying?
Just let it out, but at the right time.
All right.
Just let it go.
All right.
It's okay.
All right.
It's probably healthy for you, frankly.
Appreciate that. Working on it. All right. I do think Caitlin Clark's worth in terms of story, especially on a slow week. So I guess we disagree on that one, but that's where we're at. Sean, give me the next one.
We got Mike from Jersey. You're live.
Mike.
Hello? Can
Yep.
you hear me?
Yep.
All right. On Caitlin Clark, Bosco. Michael Jordan needed the bad boys. I think Caitlin Clark's going to grow from this as a player.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lesson of toughness. Welcome to the league, but there's a welcome to the league, and then there's also like taking it a little too far.
I don't know. Like, yeah, the girl Carter bumped her, but like Brianna Stewart just set a good screen. I think a lot of it is people are trying to overprotect her right now. I think you got to just, she'll grow from this. She'll get better. And she's a hell of a player. I don't know what the one guy was talking about, saying, "Oh, why are we?"
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Hell of a player. I mean,
she's magnificent. You're right. Maybe. Yeah. I guess it's if I'm gonna say she's got to be treated separately or she's got to be treated well, then I got to say every rookie's got to be treated well. We lost him. All right. Before we go to the next one, let's go. I think this one will probably spark some debate. I got this yesterday, I think, from my cousin. Shout out, Matt. Joey Chestnut, athlete or icon? I'm leaning icon. I'm not leaning athlete. Everybody, what?
Can they be both?
They could be both, but do you really consider a guy who eats an athlete?
Yeah.
You do?
He's got to train.
He's got to train.
I can't just, do that. No one can just
So you're under the assumption he's an athlete?
Yeah, I think you have to put him there.
Really?
Yeah.
But, it's a clarification of it's loosely termed athlete, right?
If it requires physical skill, like athletic skill, you're an athlete. Do you consider esports people athletes?
No.
And I do.
You do, Jason? Jason gave us a tough look. You're playing video games.
Yeah, but it still takes a skill that you would not be able to attain if you started right now.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He's very skilled. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's very skilled, but it doesn't mean he's an athlete.
I mean, I don't know. It depends on your term of athlete. I think you're being a hardo about it and a bit of a loser, but
Healthy debate, I wouldn't say that.
Healthy debate, I would.
All right, fair enough. You're a Joey Chestnut guy. I think he's an icon. I don't think he's an athlete. So I'm sure that's going to piss some people off, so we'll take him. Sean, give me the next one.
We got Steve. Steve from Long Island.
What's up?
Rico, you got me?
Yeah.
All right, now that summer is officially kind of in full swing, healthy debate is playing music at a crowded beach one of the worst things someone can do in public. I'm not saying you have to sit there in silence, and if you're there sunset with a few friends, drinking some high noons, it's cool. But prime time Saturday afternoon beach, and it's packed, and you're blasting country music.
Blasting is the key word. Blasting is the key debate. There is the key word. If you're playing it at a reasonable volume and you can hear it with the 8 chairs that you come down with and your people, that's all good. I actually kind of like if you don't bring a speaker, you kind of mooch off of theirs, so to speak. You know what I mean? You can hear it off in a little bit of a distance. Blasting, absolutely not. Playing music, totally cool. Totally cool with that.
If you're there with the 8 folks, I believe that speaker's got to kind of be in the center of that circle. You know what I mean? Just to even insulate it a little
bit.
It's
faint. It's faint because some people are nodding off. You don't want the music loud. Beach music, I've said it a million times. You can read the blog. It's called Sometimes All You Need Is a Radio. And Labor Day weekend, I distinctly remember CBS FM used to do the countdowns, whether it was the top 1,000. They did it on Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. They did 1,001. One year they did a question and answer or something like that, which was kind of weird. Then they did the A to Z catalog. They played every song from A to Z, and then they played their top 1,001 because it's CBS 101 or top 1,011, whatever it was. And that was faint. You were half listening. You kind of hear the words from a little bit of a distance. That's the perfect type of beach music. You go down to the beach and you're blasting music, no thanks. I want to doze in and out of a nap to the Temptations and Frankie Valli. That's what I want to hear down at the beach. I don't want to be hearing full-blown music blasted. Now, when you were 20 and you were going down there, definitely volume was a little bit louder. You know what I mean? When you're a little bit rowdy. But for the most part, beach, growing up as a kid, going down there with a sandwich and a soda. Now you're sitting on a beach, you're just looking to kind of pass out with a nap. I think beach music volume should be minimal.
Thanks, Rico.
The other thing, Steve there? I'll just say this.
Yeah, I got you.
No, okay. The people who go down early, whether it's swim clubs or beach clubs, and save massive amounts of area. I know Scott Van Pelt was touching on this the other day. You save a massive area or you spread out like way too far, screw you. And it's the people who go to resorts at like 6 a.m. and wake up at 6 a.m., save the best 2 seats by the pool with the 2 towels, and then never come back down to dinner. You guys are the worst. Just because you got there, it's not a competition who could get there at 6 o'clock in the morning. The people who need those, like, it's the worst. Saving the tables, the whole thing, I hate that shit. Hate that shit at the beach. Hate it. We also got to get, I think we got to get easier carry. I know we got those things are getting a little heavy now. The over-the-shoulder, the different brand, no free ads, but the different brands. I think we go back to they had the one that goes in the bag with the over-the-shoulder. I don't know. We need a little bit lighter of a chair. We need something you can almost like ride on, some kind of scooter.
I always thought the wagon is a good play.
The wagon's tough, though, man. You pull that
But
thing.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
I understand it.
But then one guy is loading up the wagon, you know? Like, it's always the dad, like, pulling the wagon through. Everybody, if you bring down a chair, carry your chair home. You know? You don't need too much, is my beach advice. Give me the next one. Welcome to summer calls, by the way.
Moisty Turtle, you're live.
We welcome the summer calls.
Yo, Rico,
What's
got
up?
me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Happy New Year. Long time no see, my man.
You too.
So I want to preface this. I'm kind of 50-50 with the whole Caitlin Clark thing. I honestly wasn't going to call in today. I didn't have too much to talk about, but this kind of reminded me of, I was thinking about it when you guys were talking about Pick Central. So, and first of all, whoever Jack from Wisconsin, you're a fucking moron, dude. She is so fucking good at basketball. Like, obviously, she's a rookie. She's not going to do the best when she's on a not-so-good team. But, bro, the last 2 years she's been in college, she's hooped circles around all the other players her age. Like, I have no idea what that guy's talking about.
I would say biggest individual player in the last 2 years, bar none, men or women, in college basketball.
Oh,
That's
100%.
not
yeah.
crazy
Okay.
take at all.
No. Okay. So I just wanted to preface that. But I kind of agree with Big Ev on Pick Central today. Like, not that obvious, like, it's obvious that foul was egregious. That shouldn't happen at all. Like, that was over the top. But some of the other clips that are getting piled on, I guess, and like included maybe in some of the discourse on Twitter and stuff, it's just kind of hard basketball. Caitlin Clark, she's younger than every other woman that's in the WNBA. She's a point guard. Like, she's gonna be
get
jostled
hit.
around,
Yep.
I guess. Like, I feel like it's just kind of getting overplayed a little bit. But like I said, that shouldn't happen at all. It's just, oh, she's the new player. And the other part of this that we're all forgetting, and I hate to be this guy, it's like, dude, Caitlin Clark, if she wasn't in the WNBA, if she did not play basketball in college, we would literally be in the same spot for the WNBA that it was 5 years ago.
Right.
And if anyone wants to, like, say that they're coddling her, the NBA is, like, favoring her, it's like, yeah, I get that that's your opinion. You don't agree with that. But it's like, dude, give her some grace. Like, she has lifted this thing up from nowhere. Like, we have to at least credit her for some of that. Like, I don't know. I know that she gets her credit and whatnot, but people are making a big deal out of her. I don't know. Just it's kind of like she revolutionized the whole WNBA sport. Kind of like when Steph Curry started shooting 3-pointers a lot more. That's
Agreed.
What I'm trying to say.
Totally agreed.
Like,
The thing I would
Yeah,
say too is
sorry.
I know you're like don't get too overprotective. She's got to deal with this.
Yeah.
She's just another rookie. The thing I would say though is you're getting what happened. I see this going to where if they keep letting this go, you get to a point where then she really gets hurt. And then now what you do?
Yeah.
Once you get the toothpaste out of the tube all the way and you keep letting it go, they could reach a point of no return where you lose your star. And imagine losing your star in year one. That hurts.
And the other thing too with that is like Caitlin Clark herself is kind of in a shitty position because it's like, oh, if she kind of just goes along with like the WNBA is going to like possibly like protect her, step in or whatever, then people are going to be like, oh, well.
Yeah, you're a
she's just hiding
softie.
behind
Agreed.
all these. Yeah, exactly.
She's in a
But then
lose-lose.
If she does something about it, everyone's going to be like, wow, Caitlin Clark's coming out of her shell. Like, she's a loose cannon. It's
Right,
like,
hothead,
what
yes.
the fuck are we doing?
Right. It's
Yeah,
it's a brutal spot for her to do that. You know what I mean? I'm sure she had different opinions on Angel Reese, but she took the high road there. It's like how many times you want her to take the high road at this point while you're getting hammered. I think it's a tough spot.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
No, I know I kind of went off on a tangent a little bit.
No,
I
it's
also
fine.
don't know too much. Yeah, I don't know too much about the WNBA, but for me, it just seems like a lot of this is kind of just like fluff material because nothing else is going on. Like Caitlin Clark is going to get not hurt or whatever, but she's gonna get like physicality. It's different than college basketball. Like, I don't know. I think people are overplaying it. I think both things can be true, is what you like to say a lot. I think people are overplaying it, but it also needs to happen that we need to figure this out.
Agreed. It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Phil, next one.
I just want to say that guy kind of lit up Jack from Wisconsin. Is that a familiar feeling for you, or?
Yeah. Every time Jack from Wisconsin lights up, I do think it's him calling in. So we'll see.
Maybe one day it will be.
It will be. Next one.
We got Johnny on the line.
Rico.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, bud? Healthy debate. Real Madrid's going to go back-to-back in the Champions League finals now since signing Kylian Mbappe.
All right, you're gonna have to tell me why. You're gonna have to tell me why, because I'm not a soccer guy. But I've taken.
Oh no, it's all right. Well, yeah, it's okay. This Saturday, what was the name? Was the Champions League final? Real Madrid beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0.
Okay.
They just signed one of the best players right now, Kylian Mbappe from France.
Mbappe, right?
Euro.
Yeah, I know that name a little bit.
So I figured all the Barcelona haters who are probably on the phone right now are probably still crying about it. That they're gonna have to, what can I say? Just admit that they're going to go back-to-back Champions League Finals winners. Because right now you have a stacked team. Right now you have Kylian Mbappe coming up now, Vinicius Jr. from Brazil. You have Jude Bellingham from England. The top three scorers in all of Europe. They're going to be destroying these guys next year in Europe, and probably even the Club World Cup when it comes.
Was there a little pushback? Was this like Durant going to the Warriors? Was there a little pushback from Mbappe going to this team?
No, a little bit of a push. He wanted to leave his old team, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, last year, but the owner was just being spiteful to not trigger his release clause. So then they said, all right, we'll finish his year out. Then they'll have some contract negotiations. The contract negotiations fell through with PSG. He wanted to go to Real Madrid for the longest time. So now he's here. He's going to be playing to Santiago Bernabeu on the weekends and on Champions League nights. It's a lock, man. These guys are like the I hate to say the Patriots of European soccer now, the dynasty.
I kind of like if a guy stayed on a team his whole career. I think that would be an interesting wrinkle in soccer.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, yeah. But you know what, though? With his old team, PSG, they were going nowhere. They had nobody.
Right.
I mean, they had Messi, and Messi was terrible over on PSG. And they still, I know.
I just think that'd be an interesting wrinkle if they stayed on those teams for the whole time. I know everywhere else it's like free commerce and who can pay more, and you should be able to in trade. But I think a cool wrinkle would be guys dyed in the wool in terms of their teams. Think about that in terms of quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like if Stafford had to stay on the Lions, and then Stafford has to could Stafford then eventually bring them to that Super Bowl? You know what I mean?
True.
I just think it's an interesting wrinkle. And I totally get the free commerce, and everybody should be able to go get as much money as they want, and you could offer picks, and you do all that. But I do think it's an interesting wrinkle in all of sports if guys stayed on the same team.
True, like you want to have his own legacy. You want to be be the face of that team. I see what you mean.
Yeah, Phil's lighting up. Phil, what I screw up?
Isn't this what sports was like in the 70s or
Pretty
60s,
much,
where free agency didn't exist?
Exactly. Yeah. I just think soccer, the way that these guys love and die with their teams, it would be an interesting wrinkle if that, especially, they stayed on those teams. That's what I'm going to say. Again, not being a soccer guy.
True. Yeah, I mean, there's only few.
And again, it would be a nightmare scenario because all the soccer guys would be like, well, the guys in the NBA and the guys in the NFL can go get as much money as they want. Why can't I leave?
Yeah. Also, Rico.
It would set them up for a nightmare.
With his transfer not even a transfer because they got him on a free. It was a free transfer. They didn't even have to pay PSG for him, because he just let the contract didn't.
Contract expired.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. So all right, I'll double. They're back to back. Find the odds, Phil. We'll fire it in. Next one.
Garrett, you're live now.
It's not Gary, guys. It's Derek, like Derek Rose.
Derek Rose. All right, Derek Rose.
Like
Go
Derek
ahead.
Rose. It's Derek. What's up, Rico?
What's going on? How's the knee, Derek?
Probably Phil was screwing my name up, bro.
No. Sean's new on the thing. It sounded like Gary. It happens.
It happens. It does happen. It's my voice too, So
Yep.
no shade to you guys back in the booth. Love you guys. Shout out to Sean. All right, healthy debate I got for you guys, right? Grilling season.
Okay, we like this. Summer. I like it.
You like this, right? All right, tell me if I'm in the wrong with this one, Rico. I know I'm not. So I got invited to my cousin's house. He's like, we're going to do a family grill thing. Come over. I want you to grill, Derek. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I go over there, and I've got my process to do things. I'm going to go ahead and place my food in certain areas, stage things how I want to stage. No problem. The issue, and tell me if I'm wrong here, the cousin came over and kept lifting the grill, and I was like, hey, can you stop lifting the grill? I got the time on it. Everything's fine. He's like, man, I just want to take a look. And I'm like, you're letting the heat out on me, really messing up the food here. I know it's your grill and it's your party, but you gave me the responsibility here. Can you let me do what I need to do?
Yes. No, I'm on your side. Also, he basically hired you. You're supposed to be a guest at the party. You kind of got hired. That's nice of you. I don't know if I would
enjoy myself.
Exactly. When I want to go to a party, I don't want to be. That's part of the hassle of hosting a party. I used to watch my uncles when they're hosting the party. They're like, they got the steam going. They're standing by the grill the whole day. That's part of how it works. If you're lucky, maybe somebody gets you a cold beer when they go get over.
Never got that out of Rico. Didn't get the beer out.
Oh.
There's a lot of. So this is why I think it's a good, healthy debate for the boys, so that these mistakes don't keep happening down the road. You got to bring the grill guy a beer. I mean, I'm not saying that he's doing this with a party, and I'm not getting, like you said, it's not even my party, not even mine.
A nice little bucket. It'd be a nice touch. A nice little bucket of 4 or 5 ice cold. This way you never have to move. And then you get a little crowd. People are always going to go towards the grill. Oh, let me see it. What are you doing? Are they ready? Yeah, they're coming off. You know what I mean? You're one of the best guests. At the grill guy is one of the guys everyone wants to talk to, for good or bad. But he hired you. He hired you, doesn't provide you a nice cold beer, doesn't ask if you need a break, and then is lifting the grill like willy-nilly? I don't know, man.
Willy-nilly. This guy doesn't need to have a grill at his house in the future going forward, because he obviously doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Right.
I mean, it was terrible, Rico. It was terrible, man. I was so shocked. I was like, there's adults out there. Let's do this shit.
Next time, just enjoy the party. That's my advice to you.
Next time.
It's good of you, though. It's
All
good
right,
of you.
Rico.
Derek's a good guy. Call it a day. Good guy. Sean, empty him out. How many you got?
We got Jack from Wisconsin. He's back.
Okay, Jack from Wisconsin back.
Hey, whoever that guy is, he proved my point. Literally, I'm not saying that I did say she was bad. I meant to say her team's bad. We'll see how good she'll be, but she's good right now, most iconic for sure. But us talking about it as the leadoff of picks is crazy when we had titties on the screen the night before. So, that is my point, is that we're making it into much too big of a deal. I'm not a fucking idiot.
I do think we could get to a point where now it's the LeBron syndrome. Like the headline, LeBron drinks water on the bench. Headline, LeBron breathes hard running down the court. We were getting to that point. I do see that. You could get a little bit of exhaustion in terms of headlines of certain players. I do see your point there. But it's still the beginning of this storyline. She just started. The season's 10 games in. How many games in, Phil?
She's played 11 games.
She played 11 games. 11 games. So that's very, very early in her career. I don't think the story has been, beat to death yet. I will defend that.
All right. That's fair.
But that's a good point. I could see him getting to the exhaust level. That's fair. You know what I'm talking about with LeBron. LeBron, the Cowboys, Brady to a degree. There's certain guys that the media just loves to beat down. Everything they do is a storyline.
We'll have more to talk about in the media too.
Yeah, we need the finals to get rolling. I'll be honest. We need the finals to get rolling.
Yeah.
We need plays. We need fights. We need everything to go. Sean, empty him out.
Hey, Rico, Happy New Year.
What's up? Happy New Year.
Hey, good to hear your voice. Hope you're having a great start to the summer. Healthy debate. After watching the RBC Canadian Open yesterday, as a parent, being I guess a one and done, is that the peak of your fatherhood? Is watching your kid the only time you ever get on the bag, and he ends up winning a tour event? Is that the pinnacle? I would say healthy debate. That's the pinnacle for any parent.
So I'm gonna
First
spin
time
it
on the bag.
I'm gonna spin it a little bit. I think golf like that is the only way you can truly get somebody involved in your journey. It's kind of hard. No fathers are really lit up or really lighting up the sidelines in pro football. I don't think a lot of coaches are watching their son play quarterback on that sideline.
Shout out baby Gronk's dad.
Shout out Baby Gronk's dad. He'll probably get a head coaching job. Agreed. But for the most part, Mahomes' dad, not on the sideline.
The home run derby.
The home run derby.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, golf.
Not a real competition. Like a real competition, but that's a great one. You can get the dad to pitch to you. It's very cool. That's a very cool pull. Basketball, you can't really do anything for them. You don't see a lot like Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson. That's kind of cool, but that's a rarity. Golf, you're truly in that journey. Like, your opinion matters on what he does and where he finishes. You're tracking his ball. You're like, I think we should go 7-iron. We should go 8. Granted, they're going to do what they're going to do, but golf is the only one. And that's why it's like, people are always like, how do you watch golf? Like, I'll be honest, I didn't watch the RBC, but I watch all the majors. And when it's on, you can check into it on a Sunday if there's 3 or 4 guys battling. And it's good because it's like they're throwing darts. Golf is very from 150, 175 yards. They are throwing darts at the ball. They're throwing the ball to a dart to 6 feet. It's impressive to watch.
Right. I think the coolest thing though about yesterday, especially, was, I mean, the conditions. Like, it was pissing rain the entire time, and a day like that, like, you can't really put a number on just how important having a guy like that can keep all your shit dry. I mean, I just think, like, seeing that wire transfer hit his account. I mean, Bob McIntyre made over $1 million. Like, Dad's gonna get paid.
That's awesome.
The home run derby's gonna end up getting paid.
That's awesome. No, you're right. It's a great moment. And then again, golf, I think, is the only thing you can still do past a certain age. Other than like beer league, softball, golf is the only really activity that me and my friends play. So, like, that's the other thing that keeps it going. You can watch golf because everyone can relate to it, and you appreciate it once you start playing just how hard it is. So, and then you get those moments like that with their dad. Like, who was it who cried on Father's Day? Bubba Watson?
Yeah.
Bubba Watson. The PGA is always Father's Day weekend. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've watched that with my grandfather and my dad. Like, golf is a father and son's game. Your dads teach you how to play, and then you enjoy it the rest of your life. And there's nothing more rewarding than the first time you buy the beer to go play golf with your dad, you know? So it's a special. It's coming up. I mean, you got Father's Day coming up. Golf it's a special fathers and sons type of game. So is baseball, because you could have a catch, but for a different reason. You know, you're not really involved in that. So I think it's cool that baseball and golf are the top 2 where fathers and sons overlap.
Awesome. Thanks, Rico. Y'all
Thank you.
Day,
It's a good call. It's a good call. Empty amount. How many you got? That's it? Yeah.
So we have to do 2 things. I want to show you this video,
sure.
Obviously. Tell me when I can play it.
Yes.
He sounds like he should be like one of them DJs at an EDM show.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
Dr. Freak's here.
What's the best name?
The
best name you've
Dr.
heard?
Freak. The best name I've heard for
solid
anybody?
name. Just a great fucking name.
For like what? For a human?
That's a human name, yeah. Like, just as someone's first and last name.
Like, I never even thought about that. Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah.
What about you?
Someone just said something to me a couple days ago, and I was like, that is the fucking coolest name I've ever heard, but I don't fucking remember it. But, like, it was something like Enrico Palazzo. It was like something like, you know.
Oh, like a good flair.
So
yeah.
Close.
Great
So
name.
I cut
Dr.
this
Freak.
clip myself. I was listening to Volcano today. All right, so Healthy Debate. Is it crazy to listen to a podcast at 1.7 speed?
No, it's
Get things done, right? All right, I just want to make sure. The other thing is, so Healthy Debate, do I have a memorable name or I don't? Because when he said it, it was a home run name on Out and About, but then he can't remember it on the biggest stage at Rogan. So Healthy Debate will do that. Final word. Healthy Debate, is it a memorable name?
I mean, it's also not a real. Well, it is a real name. My apologies. It's a real name.
It's a real name. Yeah, it's a character name. It's a character name.
I mean, it is.
We were this close to getting mentioned on Rogan, guys. We were this close.
It's okay. You'll be mentioned one day.
I know.
I wanted to close out with so Kirk Minihane versus Barstool Basketball. You want to give a breakdown? How you think that game's gonna go?
Yeah, we got to watch out for Beanbag Ron. We obviously got to watch out for Kirk. I think we got to feed the post. I don't want to give anything, too many things away. We also can't play. You can't play too jacked up. Got to go into that just as another game. I think now we're finally playing somebody we know. For the most part, we would show up and you wouldn't know anybody, so you just play. You play and then you figure it out and read them off how they read it. Now we know these guys. There's scouting reports. There's pressure. I would say just stay within yourselves and don't get too jacked up.
You think you have an advantage coaching-wise or
maybe a disadvantage coaching-wise, but Clemmer's got some help behind the scenes.
You got shooters?
We got shooters.
Yeah.
We got shooters. He's got some help behind the scenes, so that could work.
They're going to have issues in the front court.
Agreed. Yeah, they got guys who can't move, but Clemmer doesn't really want to run, so I would get out and run and test their cardio. You know what I mean?
7 seconds on the shot clock.
Exactly. We did play with a shot clock too, so I'm wondering how that's going to go. Now we can expand the offense even more and really, really slow it down. So we'll see. But
You gonna play physical?
me, I'm going to try to avoid the physical. I know they're going to. I know from what I'm told, if I go down the lane, Kirk's going to give me an elbow to the head. So you got to watch out.
It's like the Kobe clip with Gasol. It's like, I'm going to run right
I'm
through
gonna run
his
right
chest.
through this motherfucker. Yeah, exactly. So I'm worried about that, but we'll see. It should be a good test. It'd be nice to put the shoes on one more time.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so that's the final word. Check out Healthy Debate, like and subscribe. We will see you Wednesday. Appreciate everybody watching. Take it easy.